Today I thought I'd give you a bit of backstory of me. I don't think I've ever really told you much about what I've been up to through most of my life and where I'm up to now and what I hope for the future. So I thought I'd do that since it's the end of the year. Seems like a good time to do it, right? So stay tuned. I'm going to tell you a bit about who I am, what I've been doing through my life. So yeah, this is about me. Hi, welcome back to another video. My name's Coralie. This is my channel Jump With No Fear. Mostly I do camping videos and reviews of products that I use in my van here. This is my van. This time I thought I'd tell you a little bit of background of me and who I am, what I've done through my life, camping related mostly, but also a bit about me and where I hope to be going from here on. So when I was a kid, I went camping with my parents pretty often, I think. It wasn't a super regular thing, but we did go tent camping quite a few times, and I have good memories of that. We went camping at the beach and all kinds of different places. But then when I became an adult, I didn't really go very much. I went a couple of times with my friends in my early 20s, and that was a lot of fun. But then I sort of got busy with growing up, finding out who I was, and moving out of home, all that sort of thing. And I didn't really go heaps. I had my two kids at 31 and 40 years old. Riley is 20 now and Alexis is 11. And I have been a single parent for a fair bit of that time. I was a single mum to Riley from about 3 years old, and I've been a single mum to Alexis from about 7 years old. So I've been a mother for around 20 years. Since Alexis was of school age, I've been home educating her. We went tent camping for the first time as a family to a home ed camp, and I really loved it. Alexis really enjoyed it as well. And so I decided that we should maybe go some more, and Alexis was keen. So I bought us a big fancy canvas tent, a Kodiak, and it's such a great tent, which unfortunately was just really too big and heavy for me to manage on my own, especially while Alexis was a lot younger. And also, I like the camping part of it. I don't like the setting up and packing down part of it, especially if it rains. You end up having a wet tent that you have to bring home. And that wasn't so bad, but it didn't make camping a very fun prospect for me because Alexis was just a bit too little to be able to help me at the time anyway. So then I started camping in our Prius. I watched a few videos online and I saw people doing van camping and stuff, but then I also discovered that people were going camping in their Prius. And I have a Prius and I thought that kind of sounded like fun, so we tried a bit of that and that was really enjoyable. It was doable. There wasn't a lot of space in a Prius, of course, but we had a lot of fun doing it anyway, and we took the dog with us as well. So there was myself, Alexis, and the dog all in the little Prius. So it was fun. It was an adventure and it was tricky, but I enjoyed the challenge of it. So yeah, that was kind of cool fun. We went camping 12 times in a year in our Prius. So I guess we went about once a month, and that was pretty fun. As we went camping in the Prius, I decided that I would really like to get a van. And I managed to buy this van, the one that I'm in now, and it was already a very basic build inside it. And from that basic build, I've added a whole bunch of stuff. You may have seen my latest van tour, so you can see what I've added in that. So I bought this van in 2022. That was about a year and a half ago. I've been camping in it 9 times over the course of that year and a half. Our very first trip in this van was the one down to Adelaide from northern New South Wales and then back, and that was 7 weeks. That was our very first trip, a full-on 7 weeks. Just our first trip for 7 weeks in this van, and that was pretty exciting. It worked really well. I was really stoked with how I'd set it up, and everything was going really well. I loved it. It was really cool. So I've just continued trying to improve it as I go, add a little bit of this and that, and see how it all goes from there. So everything worked really well. I was actually quite happy with the way it all went. I guess we've been camping another 8 times since then, which is not as often as we went camping in our Prius. But part of the reason for that, I guess, is because we've had to move house twice. That was twice in 7 months. That really sucked. The first place we were in was being sold, and then the next place, 8 weeks after we moved in, they told us it was being put on the market. So that was really great. Thanks for that. I was so annoyed. We are now settled into a new place here, and we got a 12-month lease straight up, so hopefully we get to stay here for a long time. That seems to be how it will work out, and I'm sort of crossing my fingers that it will, because having to move 7 months after you first moved was not fun. I hardly unpacked. There didn't seem any point. Just made it comfortable for us. My goal with van camping is that I'd actually like to buy a newer van at one point. This van is a 1998 van, so it's sort of pushing 30 years at this point, and there's a lot of rust in it. In fact, I've found a spot just as I sort of came in here to film before that I think there's been water leaking, so that is not great. I need to figure out where that's coming from. So yeah, there's a lot of rust. There was a new paint job on it, which probably should have rung an alarm bell for me, but you know, I'm kind of new to buying vehicles. Most of the vehicles I've had have either been newer or I've bought them off someone I knew, so I knew I could trust what it had been through. I'd like to get another Hiace so that everything that's in here I can just basically take out and transfer to the new Hiace, and then I won't have to worry so much about rust, and also, you know, maybe it'll sort of have fewer problems. You never know with secondhand vehicles, it's kind of hard to tell, but less rust would be great. What I'd really love to do, it's kind of a future plan because Alexis is still young. She could come with me because she's home educated, so we can be anywhere we like in theory. Is I would like to take an open-ended trip. I'd like to not pay rent anymore. Riley could stay here in this house and perhaps have a couple of housemates or something. And then I could just take off and travel around Australia. I could do the lap of Australia if I wanted to. We could sort of make it an open-ended trip and sort of stop wherever we want to, stay as long as we like, and just explore over a really long-term trip. And if Alexis got sick of it, she could go and stay with her dad for a little bit, and then you know, have a break and come back to me. She could just go by plane or something if she wanted to. I feel like I've learnt a bit with my van. It's been kind of cool because I feel like I always knew that I could do stuff on my own. Some people seem to approach life with the attitude of, oh, but what if I can't do that, and what if I can't do the other, and what would I do if blah. But for me, it's mostly been a case of, well, why wouldn't I be able to do it? And perhaps that's meant I've jumped in without really thinking about how it might turn out. That's actually why my channel is called Jump With No Fear, because I tend to do that a bit. And thankfully, cross fingers, it's never ended badly for me. So I guess that's a good thing. I've always felt like if there was anything that happened, that I'd be able to handle it. And, you know, I haven't done it without preparation. I've always made sure I've had things like, you know, a really sort of good breakdown service for, you know, for my van, so that kind of thing. So I can get out of trouble, keep myself safe if necessary. So, you know, I haven't been stupid about it. But yeah, I do have that overdeveloped sense of confidence, I guess. But with my van, I've learnt that I can actually do woodworking. I think I'm okay at it. I wouldn't say it's neat or pretty or anything, but you know, I've done an okay job putting the wooden parts of this van together. Mostly there was the basis that I had to work on, so that was really helpful. That meant I could just add things as I needed to. So I felt a bit more confident in that I wasn't sort of starting from scratch and not even having a clue how to build something. So I sort of had what was in here, which was basically just the bed platform and a couple of pull-out drawers. I had that to sort of base my knowledge from, and I saw how it was built, and I added things learning from that. Plus, when I was a kid at school, I did some woodworking, so, you know, it was really basic stuff. But, you know, I'm a fairly practical person, so I felt like I could figure it out on my own. Mostly I've just used common sense. I feel like I'm good at common sense. I've also learned I can drill a hole in the roof of my van. That one actually did make me really nervous. I was very scared about that. But I managed, and I did it. There's been no leaks through the little flat vent just off camera here. The leak that I mentioned before, that's something else. I'm not sure where that's coming from. I'll have to figure that out. So yeah, I know I did that okay. To me, this van means freedom. So currently I have this van and I also have my Toyota Prius. I really kind of need to let go of one of them because the expense of having two vehicles is a bit more than I can really afford. But I don't want to do that until I get a newer van. I don't ever want to let go of this van because, like, with two vehicles, I could sell the one that is less reliable and has rust holes in it, but this van to me means freedom. It means I can just take off if I need to, and I can have cheap holidays. Holidays are not something that I could do by going somewhere and staying in a hotel. That would be very fancy for me. So I just can't afford that sort of thing. But in my van, I can free camp, and there's so much free camping around, which is great. And I don't feel like I need to do anything fancy for a holiday. For me, it's just a change of scenery, just sort of getting out and about, doing something a bit different for a change. That to me is an enjoyable holiday. So yeah, that's why I don't ever want to let go of this van. This van for me is kind of a get out of jail free card, sort of. It's my ticket to freedom, maybe is a better way to put it. As for the future, I would really like to be able to make some income from YouTube at some point. I'm not even at 1,000 subscribers at this point, and it's been very slow. This is, I think, 3 years now that I've had my YouTube channel, and it's been very slow growth, which I'm okay with. Running a YouTube channel, there's a learning curve, and I think if my channel had gone viral for some reason, all of that sudden attention would have been a bit hard to deal with, and knowing how to cope with all the comments and all the people and maybe nasty comments. So yeah, I'm glad it hasn't. I'm glad it's been slow growth. It's been a bit frustrating. Who will give me that? But I am trying to understand that it's okay for it to grow slowly. But eventually I sort of do hope that I can make a little bit of income from it, because it would be great to be able to do just this for a living. As for further in the future, I'm not terribly employable at anything that's well paid. I've been a mother for so long that it's hard to get back into the workforce. People generally don't want to employ someone at a well-paid job if they've had a big gap in employment, and being a parent does that, unfortunately, and so often it's the mother that ends up being the one that does that. Not always, of course, but it is hard to find a well-paid job, and I'm really not trained in anything, especially nothing that pays good money. But maybe in the future, as Alexis gets closer to finishing her schooling, perhaps I could do something like bookkeeping. Brenna from Brenna Living Joyfully, she does bookkeeping on the road, and she lives in her van full time, and she can go wherever she wants and does the bookkeeping. So perhaps I could sort of start at the lower end of that, do a course, and perhaps I can start getting just a few clients doing that or something in the near future. I don't know. So I suppose that's something for future me to deal with, but I have been thinking about how I will make a decent living once Alexis has finished with school. If I was able to do a job on the road like Brenna does with her bookkeeping, then I could travel wherever I want, and that would be really awesome. That would be the ultimate for me, I reckon. I'd really enjoy that. So thanks for joining me in my video today. Bit of a ramble about who I am, what I do, what I've done in the past, and my family. I hope you've all had a good year. 2023 for me has been quite difficult. 2022 sucked as well. Being flooded out of my home, that was not fun. So I really hope you've all got some things to look forward to this coming new year, and I hope you had a nice Christmas or whatever you celebrate over this time of year. And I will see you all in the new year. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to hit the like button. And thank you again to my awesome patrons. I really appreciate all of you who are supporting me there. And don't forget, you can join up if you like. It's not super expensive. There's 3 different tiers, so you get to choose what you want to pay, and every tier gets the same benefits. So it's just what you're comfortable with. Have a good new year, and I will see you in 2024. Okay, bye.